the wants that I wanted for myself personally, I've been got. I went all around the country with my closest friends, man. I performed in front of 60,000 people. I've been flown out because of my music, because of my art, because of my taste level and what I do. So it's just like the other stuff, that's the extras.
The One More Time Music Podcast. Genuine conversations with genuine people about music. Hosted by Henry with a 3 and Playback Ben.
Went from Beamer Coops to Pencils. Don't want this to end, so part that one more time. Part that one more time. Part that shit like one more time. They part that one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of the One More Time Podcast. It's Thursday, everyone's favorite day of the week. I'm your host, Playback Ben, here with my co-host,
Henry with a 3, a.k.a. The Trap Jack Black.
Henry. Who do we have on the podcast today, my friend?
Welcoming in on the 44th episode of the One More Time Podcast, globally renowned superstar comedian and actor, it's Kevin Hart.
God damn it. God damn it.
You know, we had to go with the short joke.
That makes sense. I'm not.
We had options. We went with that.
But I feel like you embraced that shit.
I definitely embrace. I mean, I can't really do much about it. I definitely.
It's a good reason.
Touche.
I definitely embrace it. It's funny because the Kevin Hart thing is always upsetting because it's just like because you see someone and you're like, man, I'm not like that guy, but then other people are like, man, if I thought about it, you guys are this, and it's just like, and I'm watching and I'm like, man, fuck that dude. That dude's not fucking, but it's just like that dude's nothing like me. Yeah. But then everyone else like, you know who you're like? Like, you guys are just being lazy.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Black.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was a lazy rest.
In all seriousness, folks, we have legendary recording artist, songwriter Jace.
He's here.
What's good, my guy?
Happy to be here, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Happy to have you.
It took a little bit, but I'm glad we finally got you on. I think 44 was going to be...
I like it. I like the
it's a good
symmetry
number.
of it. I like the symmetry of it. I'm here, man. I'm happy.
Symmetry,
We were talking
great.
about symmetry off camera already.
We were. Yeah. Henry wanted to go with a new chair on his end, and I said, yo, it threw off the symmetry that we had going on.
We have to have the same shitty chair. I can't upgrade my chair, so I'm uncomfortable for
Maybe
Ben's
we should just
wishes
get two
right now.
better chairs for the next one.
Probably.
I was just over the weekend I was shooting.
Another podcast?
No. Denzel Curry was in town and he just hit me up like, I'm shooting this video, I just need some extras, and I said, I would rather it be the homies.
Oh man.
I put up randomly, it's a song that he has with T-Pain that I just didn't know.
Denzel Curry and T-Pain?
Yeah, it's actually amazing.
Wanted you as an extra in their video?
I mean, I think Denzel did. I don't want to lump T. I don't think Denzel just told T-Pain like, yo, I've got this friend, Jace.
Oh yeah, Jace for sure.
Jace? You mean the Jace? Yes, Denzel. We need him. Why
On
wouldn't
set.
could send the car? No, that's not what we forgot.
Got you.
But we did the video. The aesthetic of it was inspired by Wes Anderson, who of course is a director known for his color scheming and his symmetry.
Wow.
There you go.
Full circle.
It's coming all around. So, Jace, before we really get into the meat of this, conversation, fit ain't nothing.
What about it?
Don't lie to us.
Is that you?
Right here, the exclusive.
One more time exclusive.
One more time.
We need it.
It's not me.
It's not you?
Not me. Now, I will be honest. I do know who it is, but I've been sworn to secrecy. I can't fuck it up. I can't. Damn. I can't.
Well, my next question was...
the thing was, I was given the information literally because they wanted me to shut up about it. Like they said, like,
you were talking so much shit.
You were about to figure it out.
No, not even that. Yeah, no, but they were saying like, you doing this is like making it hot and making people investigate it more. Like, they was like, oh, we appreciate, you talking about it and shit, but like,
so
just
it's
keep it
but chill.
Oh no,
so
I'm saying they because I don't want to gender it. That's why I'm saying they, not because it's a group of people. Because I don't want.
It's one person.
It's one person. It is one singular person.
But for people that don't know, real quick, Fit Ain't Nothing.
So yeah, Fit Ain't Nothing basically just is an Instagram account that trolls poorly dressed celebrities.
Yeah,
it's about.
I say poorly.
I mean,
but
definitely poorly. No, yeah. The fit ain't nan.
Yeah.
Right? This shit was not hitting. So definitely doing a service to the streets and the community. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Are they from Atlanta?
Yes.
Oh yes.
I'll be honest. If it like I would be hard pressed for a time where I don't like when I know I'm going to like an event or certain shit going on. And again, I'm not even probably the type of known person if it ain't nothing we'll go for. But I don't like even just leaving the house today. It's just like, man, if they catch me,
Am
like,
I straight?
I'm not gonna be on Fit Ain't Nothing. Like at least that much. Even if I don't got it all the way on today,
He makes all his decisions
Based
as far
on
as style.
a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Anonymous
That's
troll.
definitely that's a factor. That is definitely a factor. It's not ending up on Fit Ain't Nothing. You
Damn,
don't wanna
they're
be
doing
there.
their job.
They are.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
service for the
But so when did you start kind of getting into, style and caring about, how you dressed?
You're a fashion guy.
I would like to think so, but I have friends that are just way more fashionable and fashion guyier than me.
Yeah.
But when I started getting into it, probably around like I was 16 and I had my own money and I could really pick out the type of stuff that I was into, and I was already super into just, Eastern cultures and Japanese shit. So that kind of
Japanese on today.
Yeah, man, good kanji script, all types of shit. So
Yeah.
around 16, 17 when I got my first job and I didn't have to listen to my parents' suggestions on what I could wear if I was spending my own money, that's when I started getting into sneakers and that's when I got like my first Stussy shit, my first Bape shit. But then when I really started like paying attention to it and like learning like who was designing shit and like who did like season runs and certain shit, it was around I was probably like 18, 19 when I started hanging out with like Fonny and Ceej, started getting into it more. They really like designers. Like I would just like the brand and be like, oh, if it has this on it, but they'd be like, oh no, so and so didn't do that design, or this is the run it skate thing was doing for Bape. This is what we should be. That's when I started paying attention to it. But
Shout out Fonny and Ceej, by the way.
Yeah.
shout out my guys.
Big shout outs.
Yeah, who were you looking up to as kind of like, yo, these dudes are fly? Like at that time when you started to care, were there some people that you were kind of looking at that were like, damn,
Just
these dudes can
Pharrell,
dress? Yeah, Pharrell,
Nigo, fuck this guy now, but Terry Kennedy was a big like style influence.
Okay.
But that was it. Like I wanted to just dress like them. I still want to dress like Nigo. I still want to dress like Lil Wayne circa 2005, 2006. Like that was, to me, that's like the peak of fashion.
The pinnacle.
That is the pinnacle of when niggas was fly. But
So it's either look like him or just don't make it on Fit Ain't Nothing. Like,
that's what it's like. If I'm judging
It's
where
the
my
scale.
fashion sense is at,
In between.
it's either don't end up on Fit Ain't Nothing and look as much like
Like Lil
Nigo in
Wayne.
2005
As possible.
It's fucking possible.
That's hilarious. So you spent time between Brooklyn, right, and Atlanta?
Not between, like,
Okay.
we was living in New York and then we moved out here, but I would
Okay.
go back up for summers and stuff, and I have no family other than my dad. Like, I have no family here.
So
like,
everyone's up in Brooklyn?
yeah. My mom lives in Brooklyn. My grandma moved to Long Island after they sold the house in Brooklyn, and then I got family just scattered throughout New York. Like, I got a lot of my dad's family is in Queens. So just shit like that. But I would go up for summers and stuff, and then just a part of my growing up was like always kind of culture shocky because I didn't, like, inside my house was still very New York. Like, my parents don't have an accent. My parents are Jamaican. My family's Jamaican. And then so it'd be like inside the house. Like, I don't even know if I really started saying like shit like ain't and finna until like I was like maybe in 5th grade.
Okay.
Like, just because that's not how like certain shit was spoke, or not even that we didn't say it, but not even how it was enunciated. Like, it was a different type of shit to it that I didn't even really start getting into until like maybe 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah,
They
no,
were
I
just
was-
being told you sounded weird.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, so, kind of where do you draw influences from, the New York side of things versus Atlanta? Like, are there things that you kind of learned, like, either culturally or...
Did you just go full south when you came down here?
No, that's the thing. Like, it was just hard. Like, I grew up with my parents. My parents still had like their Brooklyn accents, and my mom still goes into her Jamaican accent and starting patois. So, like I said, especially at that young, you spend so much time still around your parents
Yeah.
that it's just like you still kind of sound like what you talk like at home. And I remember that was part of the assimilation process that was difficult. I think for me and my sister, was just like, we talked a little more proper, or just our accent was a little different. And that, especially in the South, like, kids is gonna join your ass. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck you talking like that
Yeah.
for, bro? And, but you just get used to it. You grow up here, and then I drew most influences from both. Like, especially because I started getting older here and just like, oh yeah, like, okay. Lil Jon and the Eastside Boys, Yin Yang Twins. Okay, it's a little scrappy. This is what's here. But then again, it's the same thing with just the accent and other shit. I go home, my dad doesn't listen to that shit, but my dad listens to a ton of hip hop. So I'm listening to fucking Biggie and Wu-Tang and fucking
Jay.
all of that shit. My pops wasn't super big. My pop wasn't super big into Jay or Nas. I discovered Jay by myself, and then I really didn't even get into Nas till I was like maybe 16.
Okay.
Like when I started getting into rap shit. But
Yeah. So someone that you mentioned earlier that has been a huge part of your life for I think like 17, 18 years is Ceej.
Yep.
Shout out Retro Sushi.
shout out Sushi. Shout out my boy Ceej.
Yeah. So how did y'all even, first kind of link, or like what drew you guys together originally?
So we went to the same middle school and high school, and he's a year under me. And I think he was he was a white guy, but he hung around all the rap kids and the black kids and shit. Since, mind you, that was just where he grew up at. That wasn't like an intentional thing. Those were just,
His circumstances.
Yeah, his circumstances, where he grew up at and the people he was around. And I think we just met after a rap battle. We were rapping in the. So I was a sophomore. He was a freshman. And if you were a freshman and you freestyle a rap, you had to rap on your hallway. But if you were like a sophomore, if you were an upperclassman, you could rap in the gym or the cafeteria. Like
So it was that strict.
There's a whole system.
I mean, when I say it was that strict, like it wasn't like a spoken thing, but it was just like they wouldn't let you in the cipher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I remember
You just
being
won't
a
be
freshman.
able to start.
Yeah, you
You
won't be.
can't
Yeah,
even-
like.
Nah, he's fresh.
And or they just wouldn't, like, it's just like being a kid and going to the courts. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's the big kid court, and you know what I'm saying? It's not that they don't see you standing there to get picked up next. They're not gonna pick you, fam. You're 7, bro. Like, get over here, bro. But then, like, once you're a sophomore, it's just like you can kind of get in there. They've seen you were here last year. Okay. Oh yeah, nah, that's a little cut. Okay, cool. But Ceej was already so cool, and he already knew so many upperclassmen and shit that he was in. And he wasn't rapping though, but you also really couldn't. Like, I went into a couple of those ciphers because I was good at rapping, but you really weren't even supposed to go. I had an upperclassman homie named Snacks. Shout out this nigga Snacks. He was a senior.
Shout out
He was
Snacks.
a senior at Chambly High School when I was a freshman. I don't know.
Yeah, you
where
went
he
to
is.
Chambly too?
Yeah, I went to Chambly.
Bro, I went to Chambly Middle.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
That's
so I
crazy.
was like in the magnet shit.
Yeah, me
and,
too.
Well, so did you know Caleb Colossus?
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was the dude on Rhythm and Flow, like the Netflix show, and he's a rapper here in Atlanta.
Yeah. I didn't know him.
He literally
I
is
didn't
the
know.
episode before you.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
that's
was here
crazy.
last
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and yeah, he's super dope. And so he went to Chambly.
Oh yeah, word. Dang, I didn't even know that. Shouts
Yeah.
out. First of all, my high school is a legend factory, and it's not discussed enough. But
Seriously,
But
there's some
Chambly?
heavy.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not even just talking about like rap shit or music shit. Like we have like, and just from my 4-year classes span of knowing people, like we got fucking news anchors and we got
Yeah.
fucking like sports analysts. We got people just doing other regular big shit. Like we got this one girl who's just like a regionally renowned chef at this point.
Yeah.
Just all types of
That's
shit.
dope.
So yeah, shout out my alma mater.
That's dope. But so
Ceej was just hanging.
he's just hanging around.
Yeah, but then see, the other thing with Ceej's crux was that he was a producer, so he could beat.
So he was
on
already
the-
making beats.
No, I don't know if he was making
Or
beats
like-
yet, but he would beat like on the table.
He
or
had the
on
pencil flow, too.
He would beat. I think Ceej was more of a knuckle guy, if I remember.
No pencil.
Yeah,
no
I don't
tools
know,
needed.
but maybe he.
His
maybe,
808s were bumping.
Yeah, but just on the bleachers or wherever on the gym door.
Yeah.
And I think he was just in there. I think he was doing the beats that day, or maybe he wasn't. I think maybe he was kicking. It was so long ago, and I think I rapped, and I remember snapping. I don't know what
I'm
the
sure
fuck.
you did, man.
Snapped.
And I remember, and mind you, I knew who Ceej was, but we weren't cool. We weren't friends. Like he was just that white kid, and he
Everyone
just came
knows
up to me.
That's still how I'm referred to. So.
Still who you are.
And he just he came up and he said, bro, like you fire. You know what I'm saying? Like you was rapping your ass off. And I guess he was making, because that's how we got. He said, I make beats. And at that point, finding beats was just like,
It was hard.
Yeah,
a
one
lot,
hard.
A lot harder than today.
So
You
much
can't
sauce.
type in type beat on
yeah,
YouTube.
bro, like that wasn't a thing. So I'm like, bro, you make beats? And he's like, yeah, man, like I got beats. And I think I went to his house. I think that happened like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And I went to his house that Saturday. I went all the way from the east side, all the way. He stayed by our school. And yeah, I think we locked in that day. I thought looking back at it, I thought I was in there with Ye. Like he in there, like he on three
man.
chopping this shit up, and I'm like, yo, this guy's the craziest. This is crazy. Like I'm in here, man. Like we're about to be fucking the biggest fucking rappers. And yeah, so that was how
He's super
Ceej and
dope,
100.
bro.
Oh no,
He was ahead of his time.
dope. Very, man, Ceej,
Still ahead of his time,
Ceej
maybe.
was
Yeah.
and it's interesting because Ceej was always in the same way that a lot of my friends are. He was always super into music. Like he was always making playlists on his iTunes. He was always making mixes. Even now, you know, he's transitioning into his DJ shit. He's always like even when we were young, I was like, this kid could DJ any party. He just know, like he didn't just because it was crazy. I was listening to like a lot of older soul shit and like older hip hop shit because my dad had a lot of vinyls at that point. But like, I think again because his dad has a musical history and his mom is just super into music. He listened to like everything, and I in my head I was already listening to everything, but he was just like
Next level
fucking,
shit.
like shit that I had never heard of, and like I don't know, like
So
weird.
he challenged you.
Not I wouldn't say
musically,
challenge.
like,
He opened up like my scope of like
Yeah, sure.
in my head. I'm like, man, y'all not listening to like the Delphonics or the Four Tops. Like I'm listening to this old shit, and he's like, yo, I'm listening to this old shit, but I'm listening to like I want to say Ceej introduced me to the Beatles. I want to say that.
Wow.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure Ceej like
Yeah.
I knew who they were. Like, and I knew like Hey Jude and certain shit, but like he was like, no, this is the fucking Beatles, and I was like, oh shit, this is the greatest shit I've ever heard.
So where I gotta know retro sushi? Where's that coming from? How did that happen?
So
It's got some of the Japanese kind of you were talking about.
Freshman year, I'm going to Clark Atlanta. Ceej at this point has effectively dropped out of
The educational
like,
institution.
It's not for him.
He's over
not for
there.
him.
It's not for him. It was never for him. Actually,
It was
if we're
never.
being honest.
He had to figure
He
that
was one
out.
of the first kids that I knew that was very much like, bro, this school shit. Fuck, like everyone else I knew, it was at least trying to do it. It was trying like because like their parents were tripping or like they at least thought they wanted to go to college. But Ceej like very early on was like, nah, education system not for me. And so yeah, it's my freshman year. I met Fonny my freshman year, and again, Fonny was just a huge initial supporter. He was like, man, see, Jace, you can rap your ass off. Ceej, you can rap and you make beats, like. And we had already been a part of a group in high school, so he was just like, bro.
Yeah, don't try and skate past this. Because I found out that you were a part of Crank That Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I almost shit my pants because that was...
Ceej hates that gets brought up, but
I'm
I don't
so happy that this is brought up. Sorry, Ceej. We'd still love to have you on the podcast
for
for
sure.
sure.
I always feel like it for me, it's such a it cements me so much more, and just within the fabric. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just
You're
within the
Crank That
fabric,
Spider-Man
it's
guy.
culture.
It's part of the
Atlanta.
culture. Like
I look at it just like that's just one of my like. So I was on Instagram the other day, and a friend of mine, Kodak, who's from the eastside, he has
Black.
this. No, not that.
No,
Kodak.
6K.
Yeah, 6K. It's
my boy.
He has the
Shout out 6K.
the Atlanta Hood Historian page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn,
And
that's cool.
he dropped. The classic Atlanta song "Bankhead Bounce" is by. I didn't know this, and again, because I'm not originally from here, I don't know if that's why I knew or not. But
It's a cop
that
out.
D-Ray was a cop out. But that D-Rock from Yin Yang Twins made Bankhead Bounce. I
Wow.
never knew that.
Wow.
So to me, that's what it's like for me.
Mind blowing,
Like it's
yeah.
just like one, D-Rock is already legendary, like one of the greatest.
Yeah.
You know, at least Atlanta-wise, one of the greatest, just and influential duos in what was happening in Atlanta at the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like so already respected off that, and then you find that out, and it's just like,
Bro, this
oh
is
shit.
this is exactly what happened for you.
That's what that's how I
was
look
like,
at it. I don't
already-
know.
I already
Bankhead
love
Bounce is your Crank That.
No, yeah, exactly. I was like, I already love Jace.
Yeah.
And then I literally found out, doing my research that you were a part of Crank That Spider-Man. And I was like, oh my God, I fucking did silly dances to that, of course. I mean, because the Crank That era was epic. I mean,
It was huge.
It was
Yeah.
great.
It was huge.
the whole
was-
Snap era.
The whole Snap and Crank That era was so cool, man. So I do want to talk about, obviously the evolution of 2-9. So it kind of morphed into, different things along the way. What was it originally before you were even, I guess, a part of it per se? Like, what was it started as?
Originally,
Yeah.
if we take it all the way back,
Yeah.
it was Key, Curtis, and another mutual friend of ours, but just their friend at the time, Julian. They all used to like hang out / work and skate at this skate shop called Soul Monkey, which was in downtown. And Ceej and I used to just go there. So they just had like a group, I think it was called SBI, it was called Surrounded by Idiots. And they were making music.
Yeah.
And at that time, to kind of finish your retro sushi question, Ceej and Fonny and I just came up with, it's interesting because Fonny is technically, not even technically, he's a part of retro sushi. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the whole crux of it. He was supposed to be like the creator. He did our first covers. Anyway. So we had started Retro Sushi. We wanted a name we wanted like a 2-part name, and we wanted something that was like eclectic and represented the Eastern influences. So we chose Retro, which is we listen to a lot of old stuff, like I mentioned, and then Sushi, which is prepared for you fresh and at that moment. And we thought that's what we were trying to combine at the time.
I love that.
So that's what we did.
Because, I mean, were you going by Retro Jace?
No, Retro Jace was just because...
Was that just like your handle for
Yeah,
a
that
while?
was just my handle just because I was into... I guess retro shit, like I was collecting retro Jordans at the time, and the name was Retro. It made sense at the time. I don't fucking know. And it was just like, it was partly because I was wearing like retro Jordans a lot, and then Ceej was wearing BBC a lot. So he was originally BBC on Twitter.
Oh.
And then so that's kind of
cool.
That was kind of, I thought it was, I hated when he changed it. Sushi Ceej is also amazing.
It's way harder to say.
It's kind of a mouthful.
Sushi Ceej.
I
You always say
enjoy
Ceej. You end up saying Ceej.
It's a
Sushi
tongue
Ceej.
twister for sure.
But yeah,
so-
we were doing that, and we had linked up. And again, at the time, I'm collecting shoes, and I'm into what fashion is available in Atlanta at the time. And Soul Monkey was huge. Shout out to Big Homie Fruit. And
Shout out.
we would go there, Ceej and Fonny and myself, and we would just see these 3 fucking kids there sometimes. And then I remember one time we went, and this kid was like, yo, can I send you some beats? I guess he had seen Ceej around. It was Kurt. And he was like, can I send you some beats? And Ceej was like, yeah, sure, kid. Ceej is always going to fucking
go
sun
for
you.
it.
Yeah. And
Yeah, good luck.
yeah, like my inbox is flooded with fucking party invites. I don't got time for your fucking beats. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. That's how we kind of met them. And then even then, it was kind of just like a peripheral thing. Like they were just some kids that also were at a skate shop that we used to go.
It's like
to.
a group of friends.
Yeah.
It's not like a musical
Well, yeah, I was
collective.
gonna say, was it actually musically oriented, really, at the beginning, or was it more just like kind of a click up?
No,
type
it was definitely musically oriented because
Okay.
after we met, we didn't start making music with them. That's just when I met and first could put names to the faces. But it was like a little while later, after we met Johnny and Dave at this my bad, I was all the way away from the mic.
No, you're good.
It was a little bit later after we met Johnny and Dave at this shit called Battle of the Duos that homegirl of ours, Fadia Cater, put together.
Shout out Fadia. She's doing
Shout out.
huge things.
Love you, mom. Love you. So we did that, and we met Johnny and Dave, and yeah, it was just like we felt like we were all. It was definitely musical. Like we were like Johnny and Dave are super tight. Key and Kurt are doing their thing. Like we could just take this shit over, and it was definitely musical. Like we can combine fan bases and do this, and you know, Kurt and Key and Ceej at the time made beats, as well as you know, and it was other factors like Neek and Wavy Wallace, a friend of ours named Damien. So we had someone who could record, which was Damien. So it was out of like musical necessity, and we genuinely were like, oh, these people dress like us, they talk like us, they're into what we're into, whether that was skating or sneakers or fashion or you know whatever. So it just made sense. Or at least that's how, you know, I love and hate retelling like how the shit happens, because I feel like I'll tell the story and then like Key will watch this and be like, man, that ain't how that shit happened, man. Man, I told Ceej, send us some motherfucking beats. But that's
Key, if you want to come tell your side of the story.
Yo, fact check Jace in the comments
Fat Man
below.
Key.
Is this dude telling the real deal of how Two-9
but
started?
that's how I remember it playing out to me. And we recorded one night at my this one bedroom I was sharing with my sister, because I was the only person that lived like alone or not with a girlfriend, like not with a parent and not with a girlfriend at the time. And we cooked up, and then we called it pilot music. And that was pretty much it. We just would try and record every day. I was still pretending to be in school, and
Well, what does that mean?
It's like I was going to school, but it's just like I wasn't fucking going. I was going.
He was there,
No,
but he
'cause-
wasn't there.
He was enrolled, but he wasn't.
No, because I
physically
dropped out. So I
present.
dropped out of Clark Atlanta, and
Okay.
then I got convinced by my mom and dad at the time to enroll and just go back to school. Like, you're not doing anything, go back to school. Fuck it. So I go back. I go to Georgia Perimeter.
Okay.
But it's just like I would leave in the morning and maybe I would go to class, but a lot of times I would just hang out on campus. Like, it was just people there. It's crazy because both me and Brick, who runs Beastroy, we went to Georgia Perimeter at the same time, and that was how we met. And he used
There
to
you
come
go.
around when we would do earlier shit. So shout out my boy Brick. But
Yeah, I didn't know he was. I mean, I love Beastroy, like the shit that they do. That's
Yeah.
like their socks and shit are so dope.
the beans, everything. So
Yeah.
they just dropped some new shit, man. Fuck
Okay.
with my boy Brick.
Dope,
But
yeah.
that's what I mean by like I was just going and hanging out with the homies up there.
Yeah.
And then I would leave and then we would just try and record. Like, it was just like, who got gas money? Who can go pick Johnny and Dave? All right, who can go grab Key? All right, bet. Jace, you home? All right, bet. Someone got to go get Damien. He got the laptop. And then we would try to as much as we could. So that was pretty much, that's the origins that I
Yeah.
remember.
So tell us about the creative dynamics of a group like that, right? Because we talked about this on the podcast a few episodes ago. I'm
We
not even
talked
sure
about
when.
how collectives are very difficult to make work.
Yeah, and of course we'll get into kind of like, the evolution of it, but just like the creative side of things. With that many people, a few producers, a few rappers, whatever, right? Like, how did y'all navigate the creativity and like the creative process, with that many people involved? Was that tough or?
I mean, I feel like it maybe got a little more difficult later. Like, I feel like Before Forever was a little more difficult to navigate. But for the most part, and at least for us, it was pretty easy because we got set in such a system so early. Some of it was based off of necessity, some of it was just based off of, but the first project we made, which was called The Starting Five, which just had Curtis producing, and then was just me, Johnny, Dave, and Ceej rapping. That's 5 of us, with Key as a featured guest. It was like necessity. Like, everyone wants to get on the song for the most part because we didn't get to record like that. So it's like if the beat is hard and everyone was getting on it, like, oh, I gotta get on this.
Right.
So it's just like, we devised it like we usually split 8s. We usually get someone on the hook. So it's like whoever does the hook, optional if they do a verse or not. But if they do, if they don't have to, you on the hook. And then it's two other artists do a 8-bar, share 16. On the other side of it, share 16. And it was good. And that was just a system that we kind of like, it was out of necessity. Like, we want everyone on the songs, we want everyone to rap. And that just kind of became our thing. Like, people would be like, all right, Jason Key probably gonna do the hook. All right, cool. I gotta have an 8.
That was the best way to have 5 artists on a song.
Yeah. And just
It was like a
kinda-
math equation of like,
but
how do we?
But it was very much
16
under.
divided by-
It kind of just developed and was just understood. Like, it was never like a tacit conversation. Like, oh, if Jace will do the hook, and if Jace does, it's just like you just knew. Like, it's just like, oh shit, I'm on the hook, so shit. Damn, you do a verse. You know what I'm saying? All right, and then in that time, Ceej just like, man, I got my verse. I want to snap before Dame snap. Boom. So it was just kind of and because it was so new, and I don't think we really had our actual identities yet, just because so little had happened, that it was just a little more freewheeling. And then even just over time with it, it was just easier to do because we started off with almost like an incubator process of those first 2 little projects we did. And then, so we just kind of know how it goes when we in the studio. Like, Key probably in a rush, he gonna do the hook. Like, he want to
trying to get out of here.
He want to get this shit going. Not even that he trying to get this shit out of here. He has a lot of ideas, so he's like, oh yeah,
Okay.
let's get this shit going. Niggas know if Key gets some shit going and it hit me or it hit Johnny or Dave, the song pretty almost done right there. You know what I'm saying? And people know I'm gonna write quick as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So the song already there, and that motivates. Dave, if he hear my shit, he like, oh damn, Jace just went in there and snapped, and I didn't really know where I was gonna go with my verse, but him snapping made me want to snap. All right, shit, I'm ready to go. All right, Jason Dave is splitting them.
So was it
16.
pretty frictionless then, creatively speaking, or were there disagreements on like creatively what things were happening, or I mean, I guess like early on.
If there were, they were. I don't. If they were so inconsequential that I don't remember them.
Yeah,
and nor did they make them feel like there was friction.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there was a time where Ceej was like, I don't want this song on there, and
they got resolved quickly.
Yeah, but it was just like, bro. Maybe niggas would be like, oh yeah, well let's vote. Who want this song on there? All right, shit.
Yeah,
and then you just gotta eat it. Like it was never. I don't know. It was never a distinct. It was never
majority wins.
Yeah, it was majority wins, and you went with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there was definitely times where people were like, man, I really hate this song or whatever, but it's on there. You know what I'm saying? It was never. Nothing was ever stalled by anyone being like, man, what the fuck? Like, nah, this isn't going. I don't want to represent myself in this way, and this song is whack. That's not fucking happening, man. But we're gonna drop this song. But again, I think some of that was because we were so eager. We really just wanted to have shit out. We really just wanted to present ourselves to the city. That it was just like, well, what are we gonna argue about this for? You know what I'm saying? That Jace wants this song on here, but Ceej doesn't like it, and he got outvoted. Like, who fucking cares, bro? We trying to
never drop anything.
Yeah, so it's just like we trying to drop. You trying to drop, right, Jace? We all want to drop. You gonna hold the bros up?
Yeah.
No, right? So let's go.
Okay. Yeah, but so then, shifting gears to the business side of things, right? Because, that's when I feel like shit started getting a little complicated, where like management deals started happening. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how did y'all navigate the business side of things? Initially, were you even worried about it? Were you even thinking about it? Like, how's this?
I don't think we were ever worried about it. It was just, and to our uplifting and to our detriment, it was always just gang shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even I think I'm trying to think of just little shit that happened, but us having our own manager who was Meezy at the time, and then B Right managing Kurt and certain shit, like. It's just like none of that shit matters as long as we just like it's all gang shit. Like we still right here. I think maybe we could have been a little more conscious of it and a little more, linked in, locked in with it. But for us, it was just like gang shit, man. I'm like, all right, you want to set that's your manager? All right, cool. As long as that don't interfere with like what we trying to do or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like individual members having their own management versus you guys as a group, I mean, that started getting a little confusing, right? Especially when it came to like bookings, like who's going to shows.
Maybe I don't,
right?
that's why I said I don't think I was paying as much attention, because other than Key saying once we started getting managed by Big Jeff, Key was like, all right, well, I don't really want to go in that direction, so he stepped away. Mm-hmm. Again, that was an amicable choice. Like there wasn't even any friction with that. It was just like, okay, that's what you want to do.
Because he went and was working with Key Henderson at the time, right? Or was that?
I mean, yeah. He was already working with Key. That was his personal management. That was already his personal management.
But then, as a group, you guys wanted to go in the DTP management.
Yeah, we wanted.
Right?
So the thing is, we were all separate. Like Meezy was our manager, B Right was Kurt's manager, Girl Key was Key's manager.
So when you say R, you talking about you and Ceej?
Yeah, see, that's what I guess.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Because it's like 2-9 was.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why it was never confusing for us, because we all already had our singular shit. Like Johnny and Dave had a de facto manager even before the group had a manager.
Okay,
so he was already kind of influencing their decisions or saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe do this. Yeah, maybe look at that.
You know what I'm saying? Or even support shit. Like he was like, yeah, this is a good look. Y'all linking up.
Yeah.
So like I said, that's why I don't think it was a factor for us thinking about it. I feel like maybe for the outside shit and certain other shit that did end up affecting stuff, yeah, maybe. But for us, if you're talking me personally and what was going on with us, it was never confusing for us. Like it's just gang shit. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Y'all just wanted to make music.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's so cool because, to be honest, like, it clearly, cooled off. People went their separate ways, or things didn't keep going in maybe the direction that, honestly, we all kind of hoped they would, just being a fan of the group. But, like, sitting in this seat today, do you think that rap groups and collectives can work?
Yeah, I mean, it's in my head. I feel like we worked. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I do. I think we, reached the full potential of the talent that was there. No, but as far as if you're asking me, do rap collectives or rap groups work? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Even whatever happens, or dissolutions, or people go do their own shit. You know what I'm saying. As far as the effectiveness was to attract even when we linked up, it was to attract attention to this to this group.
They did
so
that.
we could attract attention to
Very true.
what was here. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we did. I think we put, you know what I'm saying? We put eyes on me and Ceej for sure. Put eyes on Key. Key's going on to do fucking crazy shit. Put eyes on Johnny and Dave, who are also transplants from Detroit, and we're here. And you know, we had a small fan. They had the biggest fan base out of us when we linked up, but they didn't have, you know, the hold on the East that they did when we were doing this shit.
Yeah.
So to me, I look at it as just, it was effective as hell. You know what I'm saying? It was.
That's amazing, actually.
No, that's
like,
great.
We didn't even really think about it like that, but
Yeah, because maybe the 2-9, if you look at it very narrow, where it's like, did the group 2-9, you know, like, I guess, you know, survive, if you will?
Yeah.
Maybe not if you look at it from, you know, you guys aren't actively putting out music as 2-9 per se, but that's a really interesting perspective around, like, you're clearly thriving in the, you know, in the space. Ceej is still doing his thing. I mean, shit, he was DJing some huge event,
He's
you know,
still,
recently.
man, one of the
Crushing.
most booked motherfuckers in the city. Man,
Yeah.
I always got something going.
Yeah, and then Key, obviously, same thing.
it's like Odd Future didn't last super long, but do we now know who Earl Sweatshirt is? Yes,
And
we
Frank
do.
Ocean and all
Frank
of them.
Ocean, yeah.
Even if you want to look at, you know, if we go down the line of other members, where you look at like Haji, you know what I'm saying, or all of them, you know what I'm saying, Mike G, like it's been a platform for all of them. And
Yeah.
I think that's, instead of looking for did the collective, you know, survive for 20 years and was consistently
What is the
putting out
definition
music.
of successful?
Yeah,
That's
I
all
always
I-
looked at it just like, look at Wu-Tang. Like they had a very tumultuous, I would say even more tumultuous than ours. And look at all of those artists. Motherfucking Method Man is on one of the highest viewed not cable network,
Yeah.
but
He's hosting shows and
He's hosting
shit,
show, but
yeah.
he's on Power and shit. He's
Oh,
on
yeah,
one of
yeah,
the
yeah,
highest
true.
viewed shits.
The
And
Wu-Tang show, by the way,
and the
is really
Wu-Tang
incredible.
show is amazing.
So good.
So good.
And so it's just like when I look at the success of collectives like that as what was able to happen from it when we try to judge success.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
No, that's a great point for sure. So, you know, kind of focusing on you in particular, having, you know, continued to thrive and kind of find your way in the industry. I mean, obviously you've, you know, we'll touch on your artistry next, but like from the songwriter perspective, I feel like you've really found your groove and you've like, you know, locked in as a songwriter, and that lane has been a really sustainable lane for you for the last, you know, several years, I would say, right? Is that a
I'd
fair?
say like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Last 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. So who are the artists that you're kind of most locked in with, would you say?
Most locked in with, I'd say at this point, and cause I go off of, like, when I think of locked in, I go with like people that know me, can put the reference with the face, and that I've been in the studio with, and that person would be probably Herbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Shout out.
probably the person I'm most locked in with.
But it's interesting. I feel like you found a lot of success writing for female artists.
That's my favorite. That's still to this day. This is my favorite. My favorite people to work with.
Yeah, because I mean,
It's
what,
just
like
kinda
Kash Doll, City
Njomza,
Girls, Njomza.
yeah, all of that. I love writing for the girls.
Why do you think that's worked so well? You know what I mean?
Man, that's. I don't know if I've ever thought about that.
That's why
a
we're here. That's
crazy-
why we're on the One More Time podcast.
I don't.
It's our job to know these things, Jace. This is
our
the One More
job.
Time podcast. We have to know these things. You're Jace.
It's so great. That was funny, but I'm also just thinking about what we were talking about earlier about just like when I was talking about just being friends with women and shit. So shit, I don't know. I feel like I have just a certain connectivity just with. I don't know. That feels like well, I was about to say it, but it sounded like really pretentious.
Misogynistic.
Not even misogynistic, just really pretentious. But I don't know. I connect with the women and yeah, for real. Like that's what it feels like, because it's just like because I
real.
do stuff for like I do work with male artists, but it's just like my shit that be hidden, and then even the shit that I get hit most about is for women.
Yeah.
And
No, I found that interesting.
I guess when I know it because I look at, I can look at my numbers and see, what goes the most, but I never ask like, why is it the shit that I do with women hit? But it's just like, I don't know, man. Shouts out to the women. Thank you for.
Do you listen to female artists most?
I wouldn't say most.
Okay. So it's not like something where you're constantly. I'm just trying to like unpack why you're so good at it, right? Is like, do you know what I mean?
I couldn't say.
It's just in his DNA, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, and it's, you know what? Part of it, I think, is writing from a woman's perspective. It's a little more, to me, like freeing, just because there's a lot of constructs when you're rapping as a guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of like, you can't say that, or you got to be tough for the moment. And we've broken down a lot of shit, and there's a lot. I would like to think there's a lot more levity and sensitivity in rap and hip hop than there was,
Yeah, for sure.
20 plus years ago. But still, it's within bounds. It's within constructs and shit. And I feel like, especially because I write as from my perspective as a man, when I have to go into that lane, it's just like I can just talk crazy fucking shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can fucking go. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you can talk about being in love different. You can talk about sex different. You can talk about just certain shit differently. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Now I want to think about it more. But that's my my hot answer.
Yeah, that's a good one. Fair. Yeah, he wants to be able to write like a WAP, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely. Oh man, one really that's why. And the thing is, that's why I love just working with. I don't know. I feel like you get that one of them ones with women. The fan base of women is, I don't know, I want to say maybe a more rabid fan base, like
more devoted,
possibly. Even when Mike will used to talk to me about this a lot, like man, and B Right used to say this a lot too. Just like you get the girls.
Yeah,
it's over with.
The guys follow.
Yeah, like it's
guys
over
like
with. Like get the girls.
Yeah.
Like get the girls.
Yes,
like
100%.
fuck all that whatever it is.
Yeah.
Tough shit is all that shit, or even if the tough shit works, because the girls will for sure love some street shit. But like, get the girls. You get the girls, it's over with.
Yep.
So
that's a gem.
Yeah, no, that's huge. So obviously, whereas you're maybe not putting out music as consistently, once again, as a fan of yours would hope that you would be. You still were featured on, fucking Revenge of the Dreamers project. You were also recently working with Nate Curry and Guap Dad on that single. We talked to BJ and Amir, who we were, talking about off camera for the Revenge of the Dreamers sessions. Yeah. He painted a pretty crazy picture. He mentioned like running into Akon in the kitchen or something, and Akon he just like
what's
pokes
up, man?
his head and he goes,
"This is crazy.
Yo, isn't
right?
this crazy?"
and he was like, "Yes, Akon,
like,
this is pretty crazy."
Because it's Akon talking to me. No, but so he kind of alluded to like, it was like 300 people at one time, potentially. Like, paint us the picture of those sessions from your perspective. What was it like being there?
Okay, from my perspective, one, I wasn't supposed to be there.
I love that.
I was not invited, like the little invites.
You didn't get the golden ticket?
No, I did not get the golden ticket.
Wow.
I did not. And I remember it was, I think, everyone was, I think the first day might have been Thursday, but that was like a light day. I think that might have just been Dreamville with a few other people.
So you definitely weren't supposed to be there.
No, I didn't go to that day, that Thursday.
Okay, good.
And then
He's like, "Hey, Dreamville, I'm here."
I didn't go that Friday. Like that first initial day, I heard was like just bonkers. Like I missed that day, but the word got out that first day was just insane, right? And so Molly, who just was the manager of Tree Sounds at the time, and it's crazy because my manager that night when people were just talking about the session, he was like, "Man, why you ain't just go up there? You good." And I'm like, "Man, I'm good." Like they ain't hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not tripping. I'm still working. I'm still doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a great opportunity for everyone else that's going. That's fine. But I'm
so
just
humble.
over here. Yeah, I guess I would. But also I don't like going like. I'm, you know what I'm saying? Even
I hate being uninvited.
Yeah, like uninvited. And
someone at the thing tells you like you should go.
Yeah,
but you're like you weren't actually allowed to authorize the invite. So fuck that. I'm not showing.
So that's kind of where I was at, and I was also just in my little work hole, like working. And then that next day, like Molly called me and she's like, "Jason, what happened to you last night? Where were you?" And I'm like, "Molly, like, what are you talking about? Like, you need to be here. Like, there's no reason you weren't there last night. That doesn't make any sense. Like, don't make me call Jeff." I'm like, "Molly, Jeff already called me. Like, it's cool. Like, I'll pull up."
Shout out Molly.
I'll pull up.
Yeah,
coming in hot. "You know you're good. Like, none of that shit matters. I don't care." And I'm like, "All right, for sure." I'm still kind of wary about it though. I'm still a little weird. And then
studio manager invites you. That's pretty good.
But yeah, but then it's just like, I also, like I said, it's the invites just being like, it was the politeness in me, just like my mother would have a fit. Like, so it's just in my head, I'm like,
Jason, did you show up to that studio session uninvited?
That is not what I taught you.
What did your mother teach you?
So, but then another friend of mine, Childish Major's manager, Deshaun, called me when the sessions were starting, and he was just like, "Yo, you need to get your ass up here." And I was just like, "Fuck it." So I hopped in the whip and I drove up there. And it was lit. I don't remember. I went that Saturday and that Sunday. I don't remember. It was a lot of people. Maybe it was 300. Tree Sounds is huge.
There's like 7 or 10 rooms there.
Yeah,
right?
I think because I got it's a lot of rooms. It's a lot of fucking rooms in Tree. And then the other thing was like, fuck the rooms. Like folks was cooking up in the rehearsal space. People were cooking up in the kitchen. People were cooking up in the lobby.
That's where Bijan was in the rehearsal space, I think.
Yeah, he literally put a table like that just on the stage,
a fold-out
and he
beer
had
pong
one
table.
aux cord.
Yeah.
He had one
it was
single
shit like
aux
that.
to just be able to record someone.
And it's just everyone.
Swizz Beats actually walked by him and said, "Yo, you need to record like up here."
You know,
Okay, Swizz Beats.
It was definitely. I remember the first. I want to say the first night because I think that was the night that we did Costa Rica. The Milwaukee Bucks were there.
That's with
God.
Pop Dad, right?
Yeah. And I think like George Hill, and I think Eric Bledsoe, and just like a couple.
Jesus.
Wow.
And it's so crazy because we were work. I think I was. It's the other reason I hate telling this story is because just because of the nature of it, it becomes like mad name droppy. So it just like,
We understand that. We understand.
That's what we're here for.
Jason. That's what we're asking you about.
That's why we had you on.
We're giving you permission. We're giving you permission. Drop them all.
But yeah, so I think I'm just working, like I'm just trading bars back and forth with Slump God, and then I just turn around, like I just swivel in my chair randomly. I don't even know why. I'm like, is that fucking George Hill? Of the Milwaukee Bucks? And I think because they had just played a playoff game against the Hawks in town.
Okay.
And Cole is just cool with them.
Yeah.
And they pulled up, and I was like, that's fucking, like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, I feel like Barry's always going to the Bucks games also.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But that was.
Seems so random.
Yeah, it is weird, but he's like always courtside at the Bucks, and it's like
None of them have anything to do with Milwaukee.
There's a Dreamville. I guess Milwaukee
something.
roster connect. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
But and it was crazy because they stayed like late. Like I'm like, God damn, y'all got practice, man. What is y'all doing?
But
We got a playoff game tomorrow.
But so I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that this dude doesn't have an invite, and you end up on a song that is arguably one of
the
biggest
songs,
records
yeah.
on the project.
Yeah, it was one of the 3 singles. I think they did 3 singles. And
Yeah, so
the second one.
still walk me through how, you know what I mean? Like, how did Costa Rica happen?
I mean, bro, his bars just
I know,
did the
but-
rest of the work. Once
Nah,
you got
it
in
was
there.
a lot. It was so much. It was so much like little minor shit that led to that happening. Where if it doesn't happen, but a lot of it was just like I didn't get kicked. By the time I got in there, I'm like, oh, I know too many people. Like no one's gonna kick me out. Like it was a safe. It was a
Safe
safety
space.
net bubble. It was like any room I was in. It's
Once
at
he
least
snuck past
4
security,
people.
he was good.
Yeah, it's like at least 4 people would be like, nah, he good. You know what I'm saying? In any room. So I'm like,
Yo, were people getting kicked out though?
no, because
Oh,
everyone
okay.
there was invited. But then it's
Okay.
crazy because I don't know if everyone there was invited because I feel like
'Cause you
after
weren't. You got in.
Yeah, no, but I feel like after that first day, it was a little more lax. Like, especially with the producers, I think if they knew, like, you know how producers they produce and then they have like young homies that like they do melodies with or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I think after that first, they were like, yo, just come with me tomorrow.
And Molly
But-
made some more phone calls.
Why the fuck aren't you here with your keyboard? But I
didn't
think
call me,
I think
but-
that's what it was. I think it would just it ballooned a little more that next day because people realized that you could be like, oh no, they're with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And it was like, this is who I cook up with. So yeah, I probably wasn't the only person that wasn't supposed to be there. I think maybe, but I think the only time people were asked to leave was like because of numbers.
Yeah.
It wasn't that no one was kicked out. Like, someone wasn't walking around like, where's your invite? This
Yeah.
is.
Where's your golden ticket?
Yeah, like no one was doing
Like,
nothing
scan your
like
QR
that.
code.
It wasn't, and maybe it was, but I didn't see any of that. It was all love. Cole was wandering around the entire time, was saying what's up to everybody. You could just stop him if you wanted to. He was popping in the rooms if he heard some shit, whether it would be get on and be like, oh yeah, lay that. Like Jid was in the roster room just cooking up that whole night.
But yeah, so Costa Rica specifically, like, you know.
Oh yeah, I forgot. So Costa Rica. So I think I'm in So I'm in the back room with T-Minus just coming up with hook.
Shout out T-Minus.
Shout out T-Minus, man. Legendary.
Shout out my boy. That's my guy. Yeah. And Deshaun comes to the back and he says, not that I wasn't supposed to be back there with T-Minus, but I just wandered back there and T was just like, oh shit, what's good, bro? I'm like, I didn't even know you were here. We start chopping it up.
Of course T-Minus is there.
I only was just going back there because I was wandering around. So if I hadn't wandered around, if T-Minus hadn't been in the back room, I wouldn't have stuck there. I don't know if Deshaun would have found me in time before. So that's why I said it's like little like sliding doors moments that happen.
It's like a series of fortunate events.
Yeah. And so Deshaun was like, yo, Jace, something's happening in the A room. You need to get in there. And I'm like, all right, bro. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, whatever's happening in the A room, like, I'm back here with T-Minus, like, cooking up. I think
I'm good.
It better be cooler than that.
I think there's stuff happening everywhere, but he's like, no, I'm telling you. And then he just leaves. So I'm
that's
like,
legendary.
Bet. I'm like, bet. And I think T-Minus had a phone call. I think his food came. Something happened, was a break in him making the beat. And like, I'm just already so itching to run and going. I'm like, all right, bet, I'll fuck around. Like, cause literally, it's shit happening everywhere. Like, it's weird. Me and T-Minus in the room, and it's a kid that I think he just took like a collapsible fold-out table, like where you would just eat dinner on, and just set it up in this nook where this other equipment was, with like just two little plug-in, not KRKs, but like just two little speakers, and we're just cooking right there. Like, everyone was just going crazy. So I'm like, I'll bounce around, like I might hear some shit. So I bounce around. I see Jid and Buddy are working on one of the Zoink Gang songs, so they're in there doing that, and I'm like, all right, this is probably already sewn up, and I'm like, okay, Deshaun told me go into the A room.
Better listen to Deshaun.
Let me go into
Smart
the A
guy.
room, and I go into the A room, and Guap is just doing this hook, and Pyrex made the beat. This was my first time meeting Pyrex.
Whipper.
And it's interesting because it's really Deshaun forethought, because it's not a lot of people in there. I think it's just Guap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it's Pyrex, Guap, Boz, maybe Hollywood Cole was in there.
They got invited.
Yeah, the people that were invited were in the A room, but it's not a lot of people in there. It's so I go in there, Guap's doing the hook.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the
Costa
beat.
Rica.
Have not heard the beat yet. I'm just in there, right? So I'm chilling. They had Jameson by the case, and I'm poured up some JMO.
Damn, we're not on that level yet. We got that.
And not really paying attention. I guess Guap gets up, and then the engineer just plays it. And I know the engineer's name. I can't remember his name right now. I see him all the time. And I was like, oh shit! Like, and the thing is, like, Boz, everyone was like, oh, this is crazy. Like, instant, like the whole room, like, was just like, boom. And then, man, Boz was like, I think Boz had a verse ready. I think that's why he's the first verse. And then from there, I think word just like spread like wildfire through Tree Sounds. Like, oh no, some shit going on in the A room. Like, there's some shit going on in the A room.
Yo, so your
like,
time got very valuable.
Oh yeah, I was so glad I was in there so early, because then I turned around again, and like every rapper that was there was now in the A room. Like,
So was it like a line of like,
kind of like, but so the
like
mic
here's
is
the mic, and then
the
like
mic is
Boz.
seated like this on the console. That's
Yeah.
where Guap was doing. Guap did it in the chair. And then Boz did his verse. Oh, Reese is in there. Reese was in there originally too. Reese was he didn't come in. Reese
Shout out
was in
Reese.
there. Shout out Reese. And Reese, of course, with his ear was like, oh yeah, bet I'm getting on this shit. And I think after Boz and Reese, that's when it wasn't a line, like it was just like a semicircle kind of.
But you like boxed
formed.
everyone out, like you
So
like, made
it's
sure
so
that
interesting.
You held your ground.
So I did, and I think I got on there like 4th or 5th. But what's so interesting, because I think Eve came in there at this time and shit, it's just like at this point, so I kind of got nervous, because I got in there like 4th or 5th, and I'm like, bet, I made like, this can be one of the verses. You know what I'm saying? And the way it had kind of been working in other rooms, just like, once it's like 2 or 3 verse spots filled in a hook, like, that song's kind of over. You know what I'm saying?
they like stop.
Not stop,
recording,
like you don't stop, but
kinda.
just like the natural progression of it, like needs to be like, oh, lock that in. Like, of course, if someone came in, it's like, oh, let me try some shit. No one was like, no, we already have 2 or 3 verses.
Okay.
But that's just
The
at least-
engineer's not copying the beat over anymore, like naturally.
Not even that. It would just be like, oh shit, this idea is here.
Yeah.
Now, if someone heard the idea later, or if someone came in and be like, dang shit, let me try some shit at least. Of course, no one was being kept off songs, but it was definitely kind of just like, even like I said, when I walked in on Buddy and Jid doing that song, I'm like, oh, this song is done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I feel like if I'd been like, yo, Jid, let me throw something on this, like, he wasn't going to be like, nah, this is finished. But again, because so much was going on with artists, I think that was just kind of the de facto thing that was going on.
Great energy going on in there.
No, man,
sounds like.
it was fucking amazing. So this little, my verse is done. I done put my verse on there. It was, oh, you snapped, and I'm thinking, like, okay, everyone else in this little semicircle is gonna realize, like, well, this is all the verses. Wrong.
Nope.
Completely wrong. Everyone put a verse. It's the original cut of that song, which I think I have somewhere in my email.
How many?
Has like 12 verses.
Oh my God.
Swear to God. Ebe says it. Ebe says it in a little doc. He said he's sitting on a couch and he's talking about it. He was like, oh yeah, no, everyone can put a verse, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not having a song that has 7 verses on it. Even though I think the song that's out does have like 7 verses. Yeah. But that's what he said. So even that, it was just like, in my head, I'm like, man, so many people put a verse on this song. In my head, I'm like, not even that my verse wasn't hard or nothing. It's just a dub. Like, Ebe or whoever's in charge, even Cole, is just gonna look, all right, we got to make this a little more insular. So
did they pick and choose, or did they just go with the first people that got on it?
I don't know. They didn't go with the first people that got on it. They didn't go because it's people that weren't on it originally. But like, cause Jid wasn't on the first one, like the first one. So it's just like, but in my head, that's what I'm thinking they're gonna do. It's just like they're gonna take these other people off and put, Jid here and Loot here and keep Guap on the hook, which made sense to me. But the other thing is the song is amazing. Like, now everyone's just in the A room. Like, it's turned into a fucking just function at this point. Like, it's crazy. Me and Guap are standing on speakers. Niggas know the hook by heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everyone's like listening to whoever's verse comes on next, but everyone's just waiting for the hook to come back.
Yeah.
And in my head, like, I'm like, man, this was a really fun experience. You know what I'm saying? I got to connect with it. And like I said, I went back the next day, and I think I laid a couple of more verses. Like, me and Key went back the next day. But in my head, I'm like, that was a cool experience. I made a lot of connections, and just got to see a lot of the homies too. I got to see Tate work, which was amazing. And we kind of just furthered our connection just being there. But in my head, I was just like, you're not on that song. Like, not even like I said, not even from a talent standpoint, but I'm like, it just logistically, that song doesn't make sense.
Industry-wise.
Yeah, just industry-wise, like, I'm not on that fucking song.
Yeah, wow. That's great.
And I ended up on the song. Like, I knew they said they were narrowing it down.
Yeah.
And I want to say, and I can't remember, because I remember I was just excited, but somebody, like, they were cutting verses, and I want to say it was Boz or Jid, but maybe it wasn't. Whoever it was at Dreamville, I'm sorry, but someone said, like, nah, Jace verse need to stay, if I'm not mistaken. And they played it in sequence, and it was like, yeah, Jace verse should stay. And so that's how I ended up on there.
That's
Shout
amazing.
out to whoever, whichever one.
I think it was Boz or Jid. I don't know. If whoever it was, thank you.
Yeah. So something that honestly I was talking with Fani about that I found, really interesting, and I want to get your perspective on it is, everyone thinks that, at least from the outside looking in, that if you're in music and you are an artist in some way, shape, or form, that your ultimate goal is to become this superstar artist that travels the world, has this insane lifestyle, what have you, right? That your dream should be to make it to this Drake status, this Ye status, whatever, right? What some people don't think about is what the fuck that comes with. Right? That comes with stress. That comes with literally missing your family and friends, leaving your home, not having like time to yourself, like always being in the limelight, right? For someone like you, I'm going to be honest, not to toot your horn, but like, you're one of the best rappers in the city, hands down. I mean, that's facts. That's
your words, not mine.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll stand behind those. But from what we see, right, with you not leaning into your artistry much over the last few years, at least since the Two-9 shit kind of fizzled, is there some of it because of you're just not wanting that for yourself, or is it other things going on? Like, kind of what's going on? Because it was just interesting talking to Fani about it.
Some of it, and I know that probably came up with Fani because we talked about it. I don't want to say some of it is not that it's not wanting it for myself. Because I want it, but one, especially not for those reasons, like the thing you said, like, I'm not even on Drake level and I'd be fucking stressed out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm already a pretty, just a private person and a chill person in general. So, and because I've been around people who have been even, you know, further up on that status pole than me, whether it be Shrim or Mike. Like, I know for real, like, the stress and the shit that come with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say that I don't want it for myself. It's more so that I'm more concerned just with, like, working. And if that's what comes out of my work, then cool, and I'll take that in stride. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. My main thing was that I wanted to be able to be creative and make music to sustain myself, or just create to sustain myself. And so that's what I wanted most, and that's what I have now. The other stuff would just be the extras. And I you know, I'm always working towards goals and wanting certain things, but most of that's musically more so than like goal oriented. I guess my only other goal at this point in music is to get a Grammy. But other than that, to me, I've been out of the country and stuff, but I've been all over this country. Like, I did that off music. Like, I've been everywhere. I've been in rooms that you could only imagine just off music. So it's just like the wants that I wanted for myself personally, I got them 5-6 years ago doing this shit off music. I went all around the country with my closest friends, man. I performed in front of 60,000 people. I've been flown out because of my music, because of my art, because of my taste level and what I do. So it's just like the other stuff is just like, that's the extras. If that comes, and I think that's the caliber of work that I can produce and put out. But if it doesn't, for sure. And I feel like Fonny always, when it's like, man, like you said, it's just like, oh man, this guy's the GOAT, man. Like, he should want this and be here. And you know, there's an argument for that. And even personally, I'll be like, I see that that's something that I'm capable of. I think I definitely had the talent level for that. But whether that occurs and it gets to that point, it's not.
It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, it's not. There you go. Yeah, it's not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to, you know, obviously get all up in your business too much, but I am curious, like, achieving that status as an artist, though, the consistency has to be more than where you're at right now, as far as like dropping music and releasing music as an artist. So, like, why are you not releasing music? Like, I'm just
why I'm not?
Yeah.
He selfishly just wants more Jace music.
No, I mean,
right?
there's
That's really it's like, yeah, but
God
you're not.
damn it, Henry.
You're not answering my fucking question. Like, that was cool. That was cool. I get it. Very nuanced answer, Jace. Yeah. Where's the tunes,
nice media
though?
training.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This guy knows how to talk. Where's the music?
Shout out your PR.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. Seriously, where's the music?
A lot of it is just like, with the music, I want to have the space and the ability to devote just to that.
Yeah.
And like I said, you know, the past 3 years, like I dropped 3 years ago. I dropped Free Jace 3 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And then from there, like, I've kind of, the writing, not because of that, but that was dropped at a time where my pub deal in certain situations were still kind of happening. And then since then, my biggest focus has just been writing. And when I drop, I want to be able to, like, I don't even want to be in a writing space when I drop. Like, I want to be able, all my posts, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, this song that I worked on. Like, nah, everything needs to be
focused on
just
that,
Jace. Yeah. Like, this needs, whether it's the videos coming out or me being able to do the press about something. Yeah. I don't want to be like, oh man, but I got to go to LA. I got to work on this shit with first. Like, nah, it needs to be the Jace show. And where I'm just at career wise, it's just, I'm still in my pub deal. I'm still working my shit. So that's kind of just where I've been at with it. But I'm always working, and that's why I'll drop like the little freestyles and shit that I have. Yeah. Because I do want, you know, people like you to know that I am still making music. But for the most part, like I said, since Free Jace, I've just been writing for people. Like, it hasn't really been a space where I don't know, even the last time I had like just a complete Jace session. Like, I think maybe I did a month ago or 2 months ago, because Ducko was like, yo, you just need to have a Jace writing session. And I did, and it yielded some tight shit. But like, prior to him even saying that to me, I just been on shit, like on other people's shit, working on it. So I don't know if that's the answer you want to hear.
Hey,
but that's
it's real. So that's
the answer.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I think that when the time's right for yourself, you know, when you feel that you want to focus your efforts on that, you know, it is understandable that you do want to kind of be all in on it versus kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and, you know, 1 foot in the other.
It's not really worth it if you're going to half-ass it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, not even at that, like, even with part of it, even just from the creative standpoint, is just like having enough where I can just hoard all the creative shit for myself. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm giving a lot of my creative, just little pieces of me away.
Does that get confusing? Like you've been writing for other people for so long, and then it's like, wait, what do I want to say? You know?
No, just because I wrote for myself for so much longer. I've been writing for myself since I was like 13.
Okay.
That's a good
I
question.
will say that sometimes I like if I've been writing for like drill artists too much for too long, I'm like, oh, hold on, man.
Dial it
What are
back.
you talking all this gangster shit for, man? Chill out, man. You're not living like that. Calm down, my boy. He been writing for shooters too long, my dude.
Yeah.
But other than that, nah, that's never been too much for me. It's at least not for a writing perspective. It's sometimes it'll get difficult if I listen to someone too much. But writing for someone, I never get that. Never.
Yeah.
It's usually pretty easy to bounce back and forth.
No, it's interesting. I mean, I think that there's a lot of parallels that I see, at least, between like your story and like Saha the Prince, who has been okay
Shout out
with
Saha,
yeah,
real Eastside
major,
motherfucker.
yes, you know, Sci-Hi, his story is incredible, and you know he's written for some of the greatest in the game. But you know him talking
Big
about
pen game. You got a big pen game, man. Pause.
him talking about God damn it, him talking about how he really needs to like be around the person and like immerse themselves in like their life and like what it is they do on a regular basis. To your point,
It's like a method actor.
Yeah, like I
for
mean, working with
songwriting.
drill artists, like you probably do embody this. Like,
You keep a 9 on the table when you write for when you write for drill artists.
No, the more interesting thing to me about Saha saying that is that a lot of my because for the most part, I do hooks. Like I don't really write people's verses, so I would want to clarify that because I don't never want to put a blemish on anyone's artistry. I do hooks. Writing hooks for people is something that's been going on in music. Period.
Yes.
So that's usually what I'm doing, and when I'm like with that shit, it's. I'm not gonna lie, I lost the question. What were we saying?
it's probably more so important to do that.
Oh no,
approach
I got it.
when he's
Saha.
writing, yeah.
No, we were talking about Saha. That's why,
Yeah.
because I was trying to tie it into
When the
Saha,
weed
and I was
hits.
like, nah, it wasn't the weed. I'll
I'm
be
just
thinking
playing.
too fast. No, so when Saha said, like being with the person and
Yeah,
being
yeah,
around the person,
yeah.
like so with the hook stuff, like a lot of the times it's just like an A&R hits me and like, yo, we need hooks. We know Jace is good with the hooks. We need some fucking hooks.
Yeah.
For so and so, whoever, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Like, I have never chilled with this artist.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what type of weed they like. Like, I don't know what brands they wear or don't fucking wear. And so it's just like, I have
Very
definitely
general.
gotten stuff. I've gotten stuff placed where I've just sent stuff in. But dude, all the stuff that like any writing shit that's been like to me successful, it's been like when I hang out with the artist. Like Njomza, shout out Njomza, that's my dog.
Yeah.
I know her. Like we don't, not even outside of just the studio, even though the relationship can be just in studio. Like I hang out with her. I know what she's down to say. I know where she's down to take it. I know where she's not. So writing for her, like, and with her, I know gonna come up with some shit because she knows that I know her well and I know that she knows me well. Like writing for a random person, they're trying to, you're just cold calling me, asking me to essentially weave a thread into someone's creative tapestry.
Their art.
And I don't even fucking know if they eat McDonald's, bro. Like I don't know how ratchet they'll take this shit. And it's just like, so that was kind of off topic of what you were saying.
No, but
the Saha thing was just like, I feel like most of us writers feel that way. Like it's just like, bro, putting us in this writing camp with 5 of us and we're supposed to fucking write this song for so-and-so and none of us we are fans of this artist and we listen to this artist, but we don't know this person.
Yeah, it's so
and
different.
Writing for people is such I think, a nuanced and type of intimate thing where it's just like, you're doing a disservice to the writers, you're doing a disservice to the artists, you're doing a disservice to the art. And by not being in there and creating it, because some artists do, have verse writers and stuff, even if you are doing that, like, be in there, like, say, like, oh, no, I would never say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially, like, I've been in, writing camps with kids that come all the way from fucking Arkansas or some shit, and this is their first, invite to a camp. invite to come through, even if it's just for one day. Be like, yo, what's up? I'm so-and-so. I appreciate you guys coming out. This is kind of where we're at in the album. Play some of the album. Like, let them know. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I know a lot of my early stuff was like kind of druggy. I'm kind of moving away from that. I'm having a kid. Like, bring that type of shit up, man. That shit helps, and it's personal instead of you end up at the end of the week with 80 hooks and they're cool, but like the artist doesn't fucking like them because they don't resonate with the artist as a person. Yeah. So it was just crazy to hear another writer who I respect also echo a statement that I've been saying to myself and my management for the past 3 years. Like, bro, if the artist, and I'll go to anything because I love working, I love what I do, but I'll be like, man, is the artist gonna be there? Because otherwise, what's the point? And my boy First is the same way. Like,
shout out First.
He'll be like, bro, I'm not pulling up to like no beat camp, bro. And I remember when he first told me that, I was like, bro, this motherfucker, Hollywood plaque having motherfucker. You would say that. And that was around like the start of when I was really like diving into writing and shit. And I thought it was I thought he was just being a dickhead. But
now that's you.
But now it's just like, oh, I get it. Like it's just like, I don't know what vibe this person's on. Like I need them. Is, you know, it's a very kind of, like I said, an intimate thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you need that person right there, you know, with you. Just like, oh no, I'm not fucking with keys right now. You got to say, oh yeah, I can fuck with some sax. You know what I'm saying? Da-da-da. Instead of just like, oh yeah, we need these for Roddy Ricch. He needs up tempo. It's just like, I don't fucking know, bro. Like, is he gonna be there? Because if he's gonna be there, we can knock some shit out, bro. It'll be crazy. If not, I'm just shooting in the dark. And again, a lot of these writers are so talented, like something will hit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've had shit hit just shooting in the dark, but it's never on par of the other shit that people know me for. Yeah. Like it's never been. So I was like, that was cool. I got me a placement, give me my points or whatever I got going on and move on. But the shit where motherfuckers is like, oh yeah, I've been in there with that. Anything where people's like, oh yeah, that was crazy, I've been right there.
Yeah.
Well, he mentioned shots in the dark. He's going to have to take some shots in the dark here in this final segment of the podcast. Henry, where we at?
Uh-oh. What's going on? Where we at?
You're about to find out, big dog.
All right. What's up?
Jace, we are at the rapid fire rampage.
Sounds intense.
It is.
It's essentially been brought up that this is essentially the game show portion of the podcast, final segment. It's going to be a 3-part rampage. Okay? Right. I'm going to hit you with some short answer questions.
Gotcha.
I'm going to hit you with some of this or that. You're going to pick one.
Real easy, spicy. I know those.
And then I'm going to hit you with some word associations. I'm going to give you one word. You just give me the first thought right off the top of your head.
That sounds dangerous.
It is.
Okay, let's do it.
It is. Hope you it sounds like your PR already, prepped you for this pretty well. So we're not worried. We're not that worried. So if you're ready.
I am ready to go. Let's do it.
Episode 44 with Jace, Rapid Fire Rampage. Here we go. Rampage! Starting with short answer. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The Rapid Fire Rampage.
Bro, come on.
You're off to a great start.
Okay, now actually we're starting. Here we go. Jace.
What's up?
Netflix approaches you to make a movie about the life of Jace.
Mm-hmm.
Who plays you and who plays the female lead?
Who plays me and who plays the female lead? Well, I don't know if there's anyone young enough and talented enough and my height to play me. So I would have to say
Kevin Hart.
No, because he's too old.
Yeah.
He's too old.
Fine.
I would play me.
Acceptable.
In my biopic. And I mean the female lead, would just be whoever I want to kiss this in Hollywood, right?
Well, who is that?
We have to know these things, Jace.
Part of the answer.
Oh man, I could
shoot your shot right here. This is
right
your chance.
Here. I feel like
we're gonna clip this, whatever it is.
She's already. I think whoever I'm thinking of is the two women that I'm thinking of are already spoken for.
Wifed up, yeah.
Zazie Beetz. I'm super.
I don't know if she is.
She played Domino in Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
and she's also on Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh wow.
As Donald Glover's girlfriend.
Yep.
And then
more Stone Mountain. So many Stone Mountain references.
Oh yeah, real eastside shit going on.
We out here.
And I think her name is Kiersey Plemons. She played the Flash's love interest in the Snyder cut of Justice League. She was also on a guest spot on New Girl, and she's also been in. I think she was in Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising. I think that was her start.
Wow,
She's a very cute girl.
Good answer.
Some interesting female lead choices that I was not expecting.
I think I fucked up her name too.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
fine.
Well,
Not to her. It's
She'll
not.
forgive you. She'll forgive you.
Jace, you wake up as a fish. What is the first thing you do?
Swim that shit out, man.
Swim that shit out.
Let's swim it out, man.
Jace, you wake up as God. What is the first thing that you do?
I wake up as God. The first thing I do.
Some real Bruce Almighty shit right here.
Answer prayers. You try to fix the world.
No, okay. You don't do that.
Get a Lamborghini.
Because now my first thing is gonna seem fucked up.
I'm trying to lead
but
you
I'm
in the
saying,
right
but
direction.
I'm God, so this is just stuff that I can just snap my fingers and do. First thing, though,
You're just testing it.
I'm just testing it.
Yeah.
You can do it quickly.
And I wake up as God. I'm
Yes.
like, oh, let me test this shit.
What you got going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just getting rid of like all the shit I don't like. Not even shit that I don't like that, but like peas, pickles, all the shit
They're
that
all
sucks,
gone.
that sucks to me.
Yeah.
That's very like low level is getting the fuck out of here.
I love it.
Wow.
It's getting the fuck out of here. Like
Fantastic.
just all the shit that I don't like.
Just creating a more Jace friendly world.
But again, that's just the test. Then once I see that there's no more
He'll
peas,
start doing good
Like I would
later.
order Chinese fried rice, and if it just came with just the carrots and the other little shit,
And no
I'd be
peas.
like, it worked. Okay, now let's solve world hunger.
That's incredible.
funny, man.
That's incredible.
I love it.
Jace, what are 3 ways to use a stapler besides stapling?
Why'd you change your voice?
This is how I get for the rapid fire page.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
It's an intense segment.
A weapon, a de facto paperweight, and like a little skinny Pac-Man.
Love it. Incredible.
Just
Like a puppet.
Click, 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 click. Yeah.
The name Jace turns out to be copyrighted. What do you change your name to?
Tape.
Ooh,
Tape?
that's quick. Yeah,
Tape.
That's
with
his
a
like nickname.
registered R.
Yeah.
Tape. The tape.
Lil Tape.
You gonna put the lil in front of it?
Depends on what age I am.
Okay. Jace, you have to delete 3 states. What are they?
Okay, let's just get North and South Dakota out of there.
No
not
one
the
fucks
first
with
time.
the Dakotas.
I would keep 1.
Nah, no Dakotas.
All right, that's
Have
2.
you ever thought about going to either
And
either
then
Dakota?
Mount Rushmore?
I want to get. It's somewhere in. It's. Like I want to get I want to get rid of Maine.
Oh, okay.
Like what the
Lobster.
People literally forget that all the lobster comes from Maine.
Yeah.
So it's just
So-
There's other like
Anyway,
there's
hope you don't
other
like-
places, Boston, and I feel like
The
Rhode
good-
Island.
Nah.
Everything.
good
It's all
lobster
from
comes
Maine.
from Maine, bro.
It's all from Maine?
bro.
I feel-
you just
feel-
deleted
okay,
all lobster.
No more lobster for Jace. Moving on, Henry.
All right, that's fucked up. But I guess I think the thing is, I
Too
also
late.
do like Maine as a state, but it's just like, what are you doing all the way up there?
What's Alaska doing over there? You could have chose Alaska.
Nah, Alaska's like a
We could
frontier.
give him
Like,
back
I
to
like-
Canada.
I like that.
Just give him to Canada.
It's important for our military, apparently.
Okay, this one's very important, Jace. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. Stop asking that fucking
Stupid ass
Stupid ass.
question.
that and is Die Hard a Christmas movie are my 2 least favorite internet questions.
Okay, noted. If you were in the music industry, not as an artist or songwriter, what would you be doing?
It's just probably A&R, like A&R. Yeah.
Connecting the dots.
Yeah, just piecing it together.
Jace, what pisses you off?
Oh,
Besides peas.
Keep this
and-
short because I can already tell.
It's got a laundry
it's
list.
real easy. No, I don't. It's a real one of the biggest things that pisses me off is people who don't use their turn signals. It's a courtesy to the other drivers. It's a safety thing. Let people know what you're doing. We're not in your car. We don't know what you're thinking.
And Atlanta's very bad.
And Atlanta is
One of the
terrible
worst
with it. I
cities.
use my turn signal religiously. I
Yeah.
do it even just as a force of habit when it's late night, no one's on the road, man. It could save a life. Communicate with your fellow drivers on the road, man.
Wow. That
it.
sounded like
Great
a
answer.
PSA or
Yeah.
something. Like that was great.
Real, man.
We're gonna, chop that up as a clip for
Yeah.
sure. That's a clip right there.
Yep.
Jace, how many lighters would fit in a limo?
16,000.
Okay. Sure.
I think that's probably.
Why not?
I think that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
On a scale of
We were talking about like a regular limo, not a stretch limo, right?
Regular Bic lighter in a regular limo.
Okay, yeah, 16,000.
Yeah, it's good.
I was thinking stretch. I think 16,000.
Yeah, it's more if it's stretch.
You got to specify. It's your fault.
It's too late now.
Yep.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird do you think you are?
Weird as shit. I'm like 15.
Part 1 of the Rampage.
Part 1. It's doing well.
It was good.
Shit.
You some of the answers were long, but they were quick, which I try not to deduct for that. I deduct for the longer you have to think about it. You know.
Oh, okay.
So, but if you're into an answer and you did it quickly, I don't deduct for that. So I would say slightly above average first part.
Yeah. Really, really good.
Cheers to the second part of the Rampage. And Evan Williams, I like your small batch a lot. If you ever want to sponsor the podcast, we are.
Cheers.
Our emails are open. This is the this or that.
All right.
Give you 2 choices. First one that pops out to you. Part 2 of the Rampage with Jace, episode 44.
Archer. I just put it together.
That's the
first one. This is why we fuck with
Oh my
Jace.
God.
Love Archer.
Thank you.
This is why we fuck with you, Jace.
Archer's so good. Come on.
You're a smart guy.
Flow or lyrics?
Flow.
Told you. I told you if I switched them, no one
myth has been busted.
Busted.
We've
Myth
asked this
busted.
question a lot. It is hands down been flow.
Unanimous.
But we asked it in lyrics or flow before, and people were like, "It's just the way you asked us.
If
The
you
order
switch
of
the order, it would
fucking
be,
whatever." And
Flow.
then you just completely proved everyone wrong.
Obviously it's flow.
It's flow.
Moving
Thank
on,
you.
Moving on. Bass guitar or drum set?
Bass.
Writing or freestyling?
Freestyling.
Stacks or ad-libs?
Ad-libs. You know I hate stacks.
I did. I learned that. Hooks or verses?
It's crazy just giving my life, but verses.
That is. That's why I asked.
He doesn't mean
Hooks
it.
are
All of
interesting.
you artists out there that are
He's
looking
written
for
hooks
hooks.
for.
Yeah.
No, the Ducko will be like, this guy just is obsessed with his verses, man.
Career suicide over here
Yeah,
answering
for real.
verses.
Oh, man. Okay, moving on. Home studio or commercial studio?
Home.
Taco Bell or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
Salsa or guac?
Guac.
Lemon pepper or hot?
Lemon pepper.
Babies dressed as penguins or penguins dressed as senior citizens?
Babies dressed as penguins. It's adorable.
It's adorable.
Penguins dressed as senior citizens would be adorable. Anyway, Cali or New York?
New York.
House party or the club?
House party. Always.
Loud neighbors or nosy neighbors?
Nosy, because I don't be on shit.
Okay.
That's what I said, man. I was like, I ain't got nothing to hide. I just want my peace and quiet. Yeah, I don't want.
I can take the noise.
If you're nosy, you're going to be so bored. Nothing's going on over here.
I smoke weed.
Oh my! I'm smoking weed, watching Cheaters reruns, bro. And like, you're gonna be at my window, like, God damn, this guy sucks. You're gonna
It's
be
been
nosy.
24
You're gonna
hours.
be nosy
Nothing's
for.
happened.
You're gonna be nosy for 3 days before you're like, man, this stinks.
They're gonna give up. Yeah, for sure.
This one we might have a clue on, but I still want to see the answer. Black and white clothes or colors?
Black and white.
Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Coke or Sprite?
Sprite.
Give up smartphones for life or give up salt for life?
Salt. Wait, that's so stupid. Smartphones. Everything that's on smartphones.
Food.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other seasonings though, but salt
That's
is
the one though. That's the one. That's the chosen one.
Salt is the 800-pound gorilla of seasonings. That's for sure.
That's the seasoning. Okay.
Stiff competition.
Jace, a 75% chance of your next project going platinum or a 25% chance of your next project going diamond?
25%.
He said risk it for the biscuit. Part 2 of the Rampage.
Part 2. That was great.
It's good.
I'm gonna have a tough time editing it going back and forth because you guys are going so fast. It was like a fucking tennis match.
He knew before like I even
was
got the
Federer
word out.
The thing
versus
is,
Nadal.
a lot of interestingly enough, this is some stuff that you just think of, like in life. Like I'll be. In
You've
my
already
house.
decided.
Yeah, like,
You
yeah,
thought,
yeah,
you
these
thought
things-
of babies dressed as penguins and
Or penguins.
senior citizens.
No,
dressed as
that's
senior
not what I've
citizens.
thought of.
Okay.
What I have done.
The other question.
What I have done.
Coke or Sprite, we've all
was
decided.
I've watched videos of penguins.
Okay.
And I've watched the videos of babies.
He's done his research, folks. He's done his research.
I know how cute both are. You presented me an option of
did.
2 very cute options. and then you put something on them, and I said, oh yeah, easy. I know the level of cuteness of both of these things, and I know what would be cuter.
Wow. His brain was working very fast.
That's
though.
in my.
It's mathematical.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Last part of the Rampage, just to wrap it up, we'll see if he can keep his pace going with the word association. I'm going to throw one word at you. First thing off the top of your head. Are you ready?
I am.
I'm almost ready. Hang on.
That's not for the. It's not for the host. That music's not for the.
Yeah.
I've never used it for
Seriously.
myself before.
Alex Trebek didn't do that
No.
when he
Felt
needed
weird.
a moment.
Felt weird
R.I.P.
doing it. Part 3 of the Rampage. Word association with Jace. Episode 44. Microphone.
Filter.
Culture.
Migos.
It's fair. I would probably say the same
That's
thing.
some Atlanta shit, bro.
I'd say the same thing.
God bless.
Midnight.
Doctor Who.
Dealer.
Dirty.
Lawyer.
Dirty.
I heard that in my head too. I was like, oh man.
Didn't expect that to go that way, but it totally makes sense. Stress.
Relief.
Champagne.
Bubbles.
Zombie.
Apocalypse.
Dump.
Truck. Yes.
Triangle.
Offense.
It's a good one.
Stadium.
Mercedes Benz.
Volcano.
Dennis Quaid. It shouldn't be Dennis Quaid. It should
Wait, what?
actually be. It should actually
Wait.
be.
Wait.
It should actually be Pierce Brosnan. But Dennis Quaid popped up in
They're
my head for
both
some
white
reason.
guys with brown hair, so we'll give it to you.
You know what's
Close-
even
close it
worse
up.
is
Is it a
that
James Bond movie?
no, because Pierce Brosnan was in Dante's Peak,
Oh,
and you said Volcano.
so your brain completely got twisted up in there.
Did it?
I think so.
Volcano.
But- yeah, but
Dante's
then-
Peak. Pierce
yeah.
Brosnan. It's just one thing.
But you went to Dennis Quaid.
Oh, I
You
did.
skipped
Yeah,
a
I did.
step.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You
I
skipped
did.
a step.
I did.
So-
white guys all look alike.
That's what I'm saying.
we do.
Let's just
That's
go
what I
with
was.
that.
That's
what
what
we
I
were
was.
getting
It was racially charged. I can't believe.
That's what we thought, and we wanted you to say it, and now we have the video of it.
So was our Kevin Hart roast. So.
We're both
Tit for
caught in
tat.
4K.
As long
Tit for
as it's equal, as long as it's
yeah,
reciprocal, I don't give a
You
fuck.
evened the score officially, yes.
But we own the footage.
I'm glad I evened the score before the episode was over.
Bro, you have
that
like
would have been
2
terrible.
minutes. Yeah, exactly.
Lil.
Phil?
Lil Phil?
No, Lil and Phil.
Oh, Rugrats. Dude, I love this guy.
This guy is great.
NASCAR.
Race?
Surgery.
No.
Bitcoin.
Does that count?
Yeah.
That's acceptable answer. History.
Fuck it.
Runts.
Gas.
Family.
Matters.
Cookie.
Dough.
2.
9.
Till the grave. Yo, this
Forever.
has been an amazing episode. Henry, what do you think about part 3? How did he do?
Very good part 3.
Very good.
I think he's up there on the elite tier of Rampagers. I'm not gonna lie. So congratulations for that.
That's
you know
good.
what I mean?
You may have entered the Rapid Fire Rampage Hall of Fame, Jace, with that.
We're still developing
my
that.
jersey. My jersey
Yeah.
gonna be in the Raptors.
Well, yeah, we're going to hang you up next to the auto-tune shirts. By the way, make sure to sport that for us.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna.
Yeah.
I was wondering where mine was at when he first had his on. It was.
Yeah.
It was an early prototype, and I was like,
It is in your car as we speak.
We've hooked you up officially now.
Yep. That is going to be the Go Forward One More Time podcast guest gift. So that's the best we can do right now. Until we
For
figure
now.
something else out.
And then we're gonna do the Hall of Fame
And
at some
free
point.
Evan Williams and
and
weed.
that, I was about to say there was more to it. I got more out of it than just a lousy T-shirt.
No, for sure. Lousy. He doesn't mean it, folks. In all seriousness, this has been an amazing episode, man. We really, really appreciate you coming on.
For real.
Super dope artist, super dope songwriter.
Great
stories,
Your
too.
stories
Just, oh my
are
gosh.
incredible.
I appreciate it, man. I had a great time.
But no, the fact that you came up here and you blessed us with your stories and gave us the opportunity to help you tell the people kind of what you've been through and where your experiences are. It's really, really appreciated, man.
Nah, for sure. I appreciate you guys, man. I'll come back anytime, man. Anytime.
sure.
That's
You know.
love. That's love. We're almost at a year here in a couple months. So
I love. Hey, man. Salute the consistency, man. That's amazing, man.
And we might have something new in store.
Oh.
For I think once we get to 52, I think that's when we introduce
Yeah.
something a little new. We're gonna shake it up. So that's when we can
spicy.
have you back. You know what I mean?
Hey,
For the
man.
And I
new
think
segment.
Jace would be perfect for that segment. segment.
Dude,
so.
it'd be great for any segment.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, like I said, just give me the call. I'm here.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, man. And Henry, until next week, what are we doing?
Getting the fuck out of here.
We're getting out of here. Peace.
Pop that shit like one more time. Hey, pop that one more time.